Hey guys, happy Vlog Friday. Um, I'm still participating even though I sound like my voice is going through a meat grater, so I hope I get bonus points for participation and lots of extra credit for sticking it out there, even though my voice sounds like a man changing over during puberty and trying to be a woman. I guess it's in reverse. But this week, our vlog post was supposed to be about some of the best sorry, some of the best advice that we ever got, and it's really hard for me to lower it down to the one piece of advice because honestly, I don't remember getting a whole lot of advice beyond kind of the dumb stuff of high school. Like, one of my best friends in high school actually wrote me a guide as to how to make out with my boyfriend at the time, who actually is my husband now, because I had never made out with a boy before. So she made a step by step kind of advice column of what to do and what not to do. It's actually kind of funny. I think I still have it. But beyond the makeout advice, I think some of the best advice that I got kind of goes on top of each other and really kind of put together how my life turned out. So, the first piece of advice that really stuck with me, I think I was in either second or third grade, and during that time you had to go to parent teacher student conferences. So we all met together and we all talked about what was going on. Um, we were all graded on a 4 point scale. So one was a does not meet, two is partially meets, three is meets, and four is an exceeds. And if you're in education, you know that that scale is still used a lot, a lot, a lot. So during this conference, my mom was going over it with my teacher, and they actually were co-teachers that just happened to be across the hall from each other. So I never got away with anything in second and third grade because my mom was right there across the hall. But during this conference, she was showing my mom that all of my grades were either threes or fours, and I only had a couple of threes left, and most of them were fours. And I was really excited when she told me that I really need to push myself because I could be the first person to get all fours. And I think that made me more competitive with my grades, and it certainly led me to getting better grades in school, and it kind of reinforced the fact that it was okay to be smart and it's okay to get good grades throughout school, which is something that, middle school tried to teach me that it was not okay, especially with my friends. And then, so I kind of had that competitiveness of I want to get the best grades that I possibly can all the way up through, which led me to going to a really good school. And I think my major kind of came out of the advice that I got from both my parents growing up was be creative. And creativity is something that ran rampant in my household. My dad, on the side, is a beekeeper. He is a blacksmith. He does woodworking all the time. My mom likes to paint. She likes to sew. Cooking is a big thing in my family. My dad picked up knitting about a year or two ago, and now he can basically look at a pattern and knit whatever he wants as long as he has instructions. You see that nice tree right behind me? That one right there. My sister, who was also my maid of honor, painted that for our thumbprint tree for our wedding, which was a huge hit. And we even got somebody's thumbprint who I don't even know who they are right in the middle. I still haven't figured out who this person is. They definitely weren't a guest. I'm thinking maybe it was part of the wait staff, but I have no idea. But it was very popular with everybody who happened to see it. So she's an incredible artist, and while I'm not so talented in the drawing area, I definitely can throw together some creative projects. Um, like I'm currently working on this puppy. Excuse the lovely bookshelf. Where did it go? Ah, yeah, you see that thing right there? On right here. Ooh, big finger. Okay, that is going to turn into the chandelier that you see below in the blog um, from Martha Stewart. And then all of this, not the couch, but this lovely piece of furniture that's in the process right now is going to turn into a lovely gray entertainment center, because I'm redoing our apartment, well, the parts that I can redo since we're renting, but I'm color coordinating everything and really getting a color scheme down. So it's helped me find an outlet of what to do when I have downtime, and it really helped with the wedding, because I did tons of different projects for it and really got to show the people who were there that I could create a lot of stuff that kind of added personal touches to our wedding. I think B liked it too. He seemed pretty impressed. So with creativity, it kind of helped me pick my major, because as an education major, you have to be really creative, and I get to be creative all the time in my classroom, and sometimes my kids look at me like, this is an art class, this is English, what are you doing? But I think that it all kind of goes together, and I also use the excuse that it's also called language arts, emphasis on the arts. So we can do art in my class. So I had that as a major and now as a career, and kind of the final piece that went through when I was in undergrad was that people were encouraging me to kind of get outside of Maine and try living someplace else. And having lived in Maine and gone to college in Maine, it was different to hear that, because that's all I had known, and I thought, oh yeah, I can handle whatever. So I applied to all these grad schools in cities and decided to go to Brown, which is right in the middle of Providence. Yeah, that was interesting the first couple of weeks. I didn't leave my room for about a week until I absolutely had to, because classes were starting. And I didn't dare to go across the street to go get milk. I thought I was going to get mugged. I didn't dare to talk to anybody, because I'm extremely shy when you first meet me, and I'm really quiet. It was a very interesting endeavor, but it was one that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world, because now I feel like I'm a more self-confident person. I know how to deal with people on a personal level a whole lot more than I did, because I really had to mature and fend for myself while I was living in a city. And sorry, my voice is definitely going. But it was an experience that really taught me a lot about myself and a lot about what I'm comfortable with. And I met some fabulous friends. I met some people who are still really close companions, and I feel like living in a rural area may not be what I'm always going to do in my life. And that's awesome, because I figured it out. And I was lucky enough to figure it out in a place where I could make friends and really figure out who I was on my own. And it just all seemed to work out, even though I thought I thought I was going to get killed or mugged or something awful living in a city, because I'm pretty sure the people who taught my parents what a city was about must have subscribed to the Life is Awful magazine, because all they talk about is how many deaths and rapes and murders and muggings happen. And I'm pretty sure that my mom called me every single week during grad school to make sure that I was still living. Not just to check in, but to make sure that I was living. But those are the three pieces of advice that have really kind of shaped how life has turned out for me and really encouraged me. I think the other most important lesson or piece of advice that anybody, especially this week, could take into heart is don't eat yellow snow. Learn it.